It's obvious that you listen to this show to hear about and support other people's dreams. But what about yours? What is your dream project? I'm here to help you break through whatever is in the way of your dreams and get you to the finish line. Go to dreamingbigcoaching.com today and take the first step. Literally, it's a button you can click to sign up for a free consultation with me. Let's find out if I can help you reach your goal. Click on Take the First Step. It's that simple to start the rest of your life. Get coached by Rob Southgate at dreamingbigcoaching.com. Welcome back to Go Fund This. I'm your host, Rob Southgate. Go Fund This is a podcast that features interviews with people who have crowdfunding projects either about to launch or currently running. My goal is to help draw attention to cool projects and to hopefully help them get funded. I want this podcast to raise up these amazing people and to inspire you, the listener, to chase your dreams. You can follow Go Fund This on Facebook as Go Fund This Podcast and join the conversations. I'll add more social media in the future, but for now, that is the best place to interact with me. You can also email me directly if you have a crowdfunding project you want to promote or one that you think my audience should know about. My email is rob@smgpods.com. Today's guest is Jack Caesar. He's an award-winning game designer and writer of Doomsong, the game whose Kickstarter is featured on today's show. You can find the link to the Doomsong Kickstarter in our show notes, or you can also search for Doomsong on Kickstarter directly. Here's Jack. Welcome to Go Fund This, Jack. I'm so excited to have you on this show. You have a really exciting Kickstarter that is launching on October 17th. See how I'm doing that? I'm telling everybody when things are happening. Very, very subtle of me. We're gonna explore this game a little bit. I am going to make it Game of the Month on TTRPG Insider. So those of you that listen to this show, you have heard me talk about TTRPG Insider as well as Alley Chats and some other things that tie in. On TTRPG Insider, I always have a Game of the Month. I like to pick a crowdfunding game that looks super cool. And this one caught my eye. I think it's great. Can't wait to hear about it. On TTRPG Insider, we get in depth. So I'll be interviewing Jack. I'll be interviewing his brother, Chris. I'll be interviewing Morgan. And we'll see if we get that artist involved too. But for here, we're just going to talk about the Kickstarter. And we've got Jack Caesar with us. Jack, welcome to the show.
Welcome. To me.
To you, yes. So we're going to have these things we call...
I'm not,
I have a friend that I've podcasted with for years, and years, and it's exactly like that, the exchanges, and he always calls it the awkward pause, because he every time freezes up just like, Jack, and introduce yourself, and he'll go, okay.
I hope you enjoy your name as well.
Maybe it's in the name, Jack. I don't know. So before we get into the game, I'm going to call you out on something. You're in the UK. Where are you at?
We're in Nottingham, the heart of UK games industry.
Very cool.
There's sort of this like old school. It's often sort of called the lead belt by people in the industry. You have the gold belt, you have the silver belt. We've got the lead belt, like old miniatures made out of lead. So we've got Games Workshop here. We've got part of Modifius. We've got Mantic Games. There's lots of sort of games companies in and around Nottingham. And CaesarInk.
Wow. It's funny. I was just talking to my team on my alter ego, where I'm a VP of marketing for a book publisher, and we were just talking about going to the UK for a gaming convention. It looks like if that happens, I'm going to have to go to the Lead Belt. It sounds like that's a place I'm going to have to be, right?
Was that for UK Games Expo by any chance?
I believe it is. So we'll see what happens. How cool would that be? And then we could go out and get some coffee, or I don't know. Are you? So I'm English Scottish. Okay, that's my heritage. But I'm a big coffee guy. Whereas I know a lot of my English friends are like, "Ooh, coffee's not really." They prefer tea. Are you a tea or coffee guy?
Nothing but a hot steaming cup of Bovril.
That's your deal.
Hot and warm, honestly. Hot and warm, hot and brown.
hot and brown. Yes. Yeah. That's actually that that covers everything, right? Hot brown, just go with that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the game we're going to talk about is Doomsong, which I just can't wait to get into this. Jack, tell us about this game.
So, elevator pitch is that in the beginning, there was the immortal. They created everything and then were immediately murdered. This is a game, a TTRPG, a role-playing game, inspired by the biblical apocalypse, horror role-playing, and generally sort of macabre folk stories and English sort of folk tales and things like that. So it's all very grim, it's all very dark and scary, and terrible things will happen to you and your character. It's a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it was all, sunshine and roses and butterflies and the quiet earth, that's fun, but come on, man. The gods are dead. Now you're in the shit. That sounds great to me.
I know the god is dead, but there are many of the other gods, the traitor gods,
the lesser gods and the bad boys. Yes, I love it.
Whisper into your mind.
I love it. So your Kickstarter for Doomsong, and those of you that are listening, you can go to Kickstarter and search for Doomsong, search for CaesarInk, which is CESAR. Is that right? CAESAR.
CAESAR. Yeah. Like the emperor, like the salad.
There you go. There you go. I'm glad you're not launching on March 15th. That would end badly for you. So CaesarInk, and it's Doomsong. I will put a link in the show notes to make things nice and easy for you. But if you're listening and you're like, I got to check this out, type it into Kickstarter. In fact, since it launches October 17th and you're hearing this early, go on and sign up now so you get alerted when it goes live. And I can tell you one thing, they are definitely going to have some updates that you're going to want to check out because we're recording for TTRPG Insider. They'll probably put them on there. And you definitely want to follow it. It's going to be a fun one to follow. So now that we know kind of the premise, we know the date, what is the amount that you're going for?
So our goal is set at £10,000. So that's about what, $12,000-13,000,
something around that, American. Yeah.
Which is kind of, for us, it's the minimum that we can work with to make this thing happen.
Sure.
It's not the print costs by any means, but it's the minimum that we can use to basically make this product a reality.
So it's important that people get active with this, that they do put something in there. And when you're talking 10,000, that's an easier number where, some people are like, hey, if I throw $100 in, I know I'm going to get the book. I know I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. Even if they throw in $5, that's going to add up. It's going to add up quickly on a $10,000 goal. So I encourage people, support this, put something in there. The other thing I'm going to encourage is the thing, I swear to God, Jack, I'm a broken record here. I say this all the time, but I can't not say it. Share this on your social media. Not you, but them. Well, you, of course.
Yeah, don't worry, we're on that.
People that are listening need to share it on their social media, tell their friends about it. You never know. That's how this happened. A friend of mine posted something about it, and I went, oh, this is amazing. And the next thing you know, we're on a show together. You don't know if you have a friend that'll put them on something, that'll be a loudspeaker, that'll put it out there. Or, for example, I have a friend who is a celebrity who is a big gamer. And every time I put one of these out, I know that he looks through it and decides whether he wants to use his platform to blast it out. You don't know who's out there. You don't know who one step away from you is. So share it on your social media. Boy, I'm off my soapbox. I get so passionate about it because it matters.
Especially when you're a small company, you're starting out. This is our first sort of solo hour company Kickstarter. So it is word of mouth. It is trying to get out there, and it is trying to say, hey, we exist.
We don't want to stop you dead in your tracks before you even get going. And that's the point. And this is such a cool project. I'm so hyped for it. So, okay, let's talk about tiers. If somebody's perusing through here, what are some tiers that you think would be especially interesting to people?
So we've cut it down to 4 tiers. there did sort of in the planning stages there were more, and we were sort of starting to explode with, oh, what if you wanted this and this and no, we've cut it down to 4 tiers, and then sort of had everything separate available as an add-on, so you can have more of X, Y, or Z. I think sort of highlighting too, the first tier, the sort of the first tier where we'll send stuff is the digital tier. So that's £30, and you get literally everything we're doing. So all the content that's available is basically available as digital or as printed. And that first tier gets you everything, essentially. Cool. So that's the 2 300-page books, that's maps, that's character sheets, that is reference aids, tons and tons and tons of stuff. And basically, if we make anything that is digital, that's what you get access to with that pledge. And then the other end is the deluxe absolutely everything tier that we've got, which is £150, and that gets you those 2 books. It gets you a physical metal coin, it gets you a pad of character sheets, which is cooler than it sounds. It gets you a full-sized cloth map, which I've just realized we're not on video, but I was about to sort of get that out and go ta-da. It gets you some tarot-sized reference cards, a calendar of Paynim, of the world, and an exclusive 60mm resin miniature of Father Plague, who is basically the arch villain, the guy you're sort of butting heads against throughout the campaign. So it gets you that as a miniature, and he's a little coin holder. So one of the sort of central parts of the system is, whenever you make a check, you're flipping you have the choice to flip a coin to maybe sort of grant yourself a critical fail or a critical success. You're hoping for success, obviously, but yes. When it's not in use, it fits in Father Plague's base of his miniature. So you've got a little like coin holder.
Oh, how cool!
Absolutely rad.
That is so cool. You know what? We might use this video, even though the video quality is terrible. Anyone watching, we're aware. Hold up that map.
I've managed to. So this is this one hasn't been hemmed, so the sides are rough, so not final quality, but it is the correct size. So I don't know how well you can see that.
Well enough. That's super cool.
So this is the Lost Kingdom of Leaf. Essentially, when the first horseman of the apocalypse, Pestilence, rode upon Paynim, they basically took control of this part of the world and have sculpted it in their image. So it is now known as the Plaguescape.
That is so freaking cool. I love it. What about, so those are a couple of tiers that people are going to want to look at. And once again, if you go to Kickstarter, you'll be able to see all the tiers. Something else might strike you, but those are two, the entry point and then the ultimate, sound amazing to me. What about stretch goals? You've hit your 10,000 pounds. What happens now?
So this was actually a really tough thing in the design of this project. So this project's been the creative stage for about 4 years. So Morgan started writing the world and the adventure 4 years ago, which was about a year before the pandemic. So it isn't actually related to the sort of the plague that happened, but it is very plaguescapey and focused. But so it's been a huge time in the making, and we've had this conversation back and forth, and what we want it to be, and what the product is at the end of the day. And when it came to, the actual how do we make money out of this, and how do we make this a real thing and get the funding and all of that, we turned to Kickstarter, and that's the only really logical way that we can get the funding and get this off the ground. And we kept on looking at stretch goals and going, oh, if we did this, maybe we could afford to do that. If we did this, and every conversation ended up feeling like, oh, we could cut this out, like to make it cheaper, and then if we hit this stretch goal, we can add it in, or the other way around. Oh, we can add this in if we get tons, but it doesn't really add anything. It just makes it more expensive. And and like adds to that. So what we ended up landing on is no stretch goals. And the reason for that is because everything that we think that makes the game better is in there. These books are based off of, or the sort of the physical quality of them is based off of the Jim Henson's Labyrinth and Jim Henson's Dark Crystal, which are two role-playing adventure games that we made. That we absolutely love the quality of those. There's fold-out pages. There's hardback, sort of leatherette cover, embossed. There's so much sort of packed into these that when we were looking at it and going, oh, we could take part of that away. We could take that out, and if we got enough money, make it happen. We just actually went,
you don't want to do that.
If we don't manage that, we don't want to do it. Like,
sure.
we're gonna make this work, whatever happens, and we want it to be what it is. We want it to be the product we want it to be. And so that kind of conversation ended up basically saying, well, there's no physical stretch goals. There is still sort of a lot that is helpful about getting, like, if we do overfund and get lots and lots of funding, what that means is essentially we can focus more on Doomsong and less on sort of freelance game design work and less on like other sources of income, and we can like dedicate more of our time to this project and get it out quicker and get it out sort of into people's hands like before that deadline, hopefully. So yeah, whilst like extra money is not going to affect the quality of the product, we're very adamant that it's going to be what it's going to be. It is going to basically help us get to that stage quicker.
Excellent. All right. So you've got your marching orders. Those of you listening, go to Kickstarter, look up Doomsong or look up CaesarInk, and you're going to find this and support it, share it, do your thing, make this happen. And let's get them past that 10,000, because frankly, one of my favorite things with a Kickstarter like this, with a small company that's trying to make their mark and just getting started, is getting that company funded. If we can get double that amount in there, if there's any way that can happen, that goes a long way to getting you guys further in the game. You know what I mean? And something that you didn't mention, you guys are Emmy Award winners, right?
Yes, that was for the work on the Labyrinth and Dark Crystal.
That's a big deal. That is not, hey, it's two brothers in Nottingham that are making up a game. Yeah. See, that's a big deal. So you know this is a legit, cool project that's going to play great. That's going to be a lot of fun. So support it. And let's get CaesarInk started as a company. Let's make it happen. So once again, everything's in the show notes, including what I'm about to ask. Jack, what's the best place for them to communicate with you?
So that would either be on I was going to say Twitter, because that is sort of our current sort of biggest platform. It's not huge, sure, but it is our biggest platform. But honestly, if you want to get in contact with us, the Discord is smaller, but it's way more interpersonal. And if you want to chat with us, let us know what you think, then that's definitely a really good place to talk to us and find out about our stuff. We also have a mailing list if you're into more sort of, where we put out basically everything we've shared on various social media sites every couple of weeks. We sort of bring it together into one place, send that out, so you don't have to sort of go hunting it down.
That's great.
Where there is actually also, if you sign up to that newsletter, or you can find it on Drive-Thru-RPG and the Itch and stuff as well, there is actually a 120-page downloadable PDF demo of the game. So, like, I can talk about it until the cows come home. But if you want to see it for yourself, go download
there it is.
Go download it.
Yeah, actually, you sent it to me so I could check it out, and I was enthralled. I think it looks great. I love the graphics and everything. I loved just reading about it. I was like, man, this is a really fantastic game. So I encourage everybody to check it out and to support it. And Jack, thank you so much for being on Go Fund This.
Thank you so much for having me.
Jack, thanks again for coming on the show today and telling us all about Doomsong. If you want to hear more about Doomsong, it's the featured game on TTRPG Insider this month. I've got an interview with Jack's brother Chris on that podcast that you definitely want to check out. TTRPG Insider is found wherever you get your podcasts. So go and subscribe today. Also, you can go to CaesarInk.com, CaesarInk.com, to sign up and receive a massive 120-page demo of this game, world map, character sheets, and get all the latest news from Doomsong. I'll also put that link in the show notes. If you or anyone you know has a crowdfunding effort about to launch or currently going, send them my way. I might just feature them on GoFundThis. I absolutely love to share cool projects by creative people and to help them reach their goals. You can connect with me on social media or via email. All the links are found in the show notes. Oh, and it would really help me out if you could rate and review this show on whatever platform you use to listen to this podcast. Good reviews help others find the show, which ultimately helps these projects get funded. GoFundThis is a production of Southgate Media Group, hosted, produced, and edited by me, Rob Southgate. Thanks again for listening to GoFundThis. Now, let's all be a part of making these dreams come true. Hi there, I'm Rob Southgate and host of this show. This is the trailer for TTRPG Insider, a podcast about, you guessed it, tabletop role-playing games. Actually, it's more specifically about the amazing people that create TTRPGs. Each episode, I'll interview someone who is involved in making the games that we all love to play. You'll hear from world builders, artists, musicians, writers, marketers, people that run the Discord, and really just anyone involved behind the scenes. And this isn't just a promo show talking about how great their games are. I want to hear their stories. How they got to where they are, what's their history with gaming, any tips they can give, and hopefully some fun stories about their lives. So, let's make this official. Welcome to the TTRPG Insider Podcast. TTRPG Insider is a celebration of an industry that I love. I started this show so I would have a chance to talk with the people that you might meet at a convention if you're lucky enough. So grab your dice, throw on some headphones, and come with me on this journey. Oh yeah, make sure to subscribe or follow wherever you listen to podcasts to hear our first episode when it drops this week.